Hello, boys and girls. Today we're going to be reading a story called Chrysanthemum. And this is one of my favorite stories to read at the beginning of the school year. This story is written by Kevin Hinkes. He is one of my favorite authors. All right, let's get started. The day she was born was the happiest day. "She is perfect," said her mother. "Absolutely," said her father. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. "Her name must be everything she is," said her mother. "Her name must be absolutely perfect," said her father. And it was. Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. And this right here, this is Chrysanthemum's heart. There it is, she was born, and there's her heart. And look how perfect it is. It's smooth and perfect. Let's see what happens to Chrysanthemum and her heart. Chrysanthemum grew and grew and grew. And when she was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loved her name. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her for dinner. And she loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written with ink on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written with icing on her birthday cake. And she loved the way it looked when she wrote it herself with her big orange crayon. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. And look at her heart, bigger and growing, and it's so smooth and pretty and perfect. Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect. And then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile, and she ran all the way. "Hooray!" said Chrysanthemum, "school!" But when Mrs. Chud took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. And they all laughed at her. Oh no, look what's happening to her heart. They were laughing at her, and now it's becoming wrinkled. "It's so long," said Joe. "It scarcely fits on your name tag," said Rita, pointing. "I'm named after my grandmother," said Victoria. "And you're named after a flower." Oh no. Every time they say something mean to her, her perfect little heart gets wrinkled. That's not very nice, is it? Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Mrs. Chud that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. Oh no. That's exactly half as many letters as there are in the entire alphabet, Victoria explained. "Thank you for sharing with us, Victoria," said Mrs. Chud. "Now put your head down." Look what's happening to her heart. Her perfect heart is getting all wrinkled with those mean words. That's not very nice. "If I had a name like yours, I'd change it," Victoria said, as the students lined up to go home. Look at her heart. "I wish I could," thought Chrysanthemum miserably. "Welcome home," said her mother. "Welcome home," said her father. "School is no place for me," said Chrysanthemum. "My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag. And I'm named after a flower." "Oh, pish," said her mother. "Your name is beautiful and precious and priceless and fascinating and winsome," said her father. It's everything you are," said her mother. "Absolutely perfect." Oh, so her mom and dad tried to smooth out all those wrinkles, all those hurtful words that those boys and girls said. So that's kind of flat, but there's still some wrinkles in there. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup, and an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane. It was an extremely pleasant dream. The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dragged her feet in the dirt. Chrysanthemum, 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 she wrote. She even looks like a flower. There they go again, wrinkling her heart. Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's pick her, said Rita, pointing. Let's smell her, said Joe. Oh, look at poor Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and said, "A chrysanthemum's a flower. It lives in a garden with worms and other dirty things." Oh, no. "Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria," said Mrs. Chudd. "Now put your head down." "I cannot believe your name," said the students as the students lined up to go home. "Neither can I," thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Look at her poor heart. It's so sad and wrinkled. "Welcome home," said her mother. "Welcome home," said her father. "School is no place for me," said Chrysanthemum. "They said I even look like a flower. They pretended to pick me and smell me." "Oh, pish," said her mother. "They're just jealous and envious and begrudging and discontented and jaundiced," said her father. "Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours?" said her mother. "After all, it's absolutely perfect," said her father. Oh, so Mom and Dad, they try to say kind things, and they're trying to smooth out her heart, make her heart feel a little bit better. And Chrysanthemum felt a trifle bit better after her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting, and another evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she really was a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals. Victoria picked her and plucked the leaves and petals one by one until there was nothing left but a scrawny stem. It was the worst nightmare of Chrysanthemum's life. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and her good luck charms. Chrysanthemum took the longest route possible to school. She stopped and stared at each and every flower. "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum," the flowers seemed to say. The morning the students were introduced to Mrs. Twinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream, as was everything else about her. The students were speechless. They thought Mrs. Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Mrs. Twinkle led the students in scales, and then she assigned roles for the class musical. Victoria was chosen as the dainty fairy queen. Rita was chosen as the spiffy butterfly princess. Joe was chosen as the all-important pixie messenger. And Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy. "Chrysanthemum's a daisy! Chrysanthemum's a daisy!" Oh no, look at her heart. It's all wrinkled and sad. Joe, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was wildly funny. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. "What's so humorous?" asked Mrs. Twinkle. "Chrysanthemum," was the answer. "Her name is so long," said Joe. "It scarcely fits on her name tag," said Rita, pointing. "I'm named after my grandmother," said Victoria, "and she's named after a flower." "Well, you know, my name is long," said Mrs. Twinkle. "It is?" said Joe. "My name would scarcely fit on a name tag," said Mrs. Twinkle. "It would?" said Rita, pointing. "And," said Mrs. Twinkle, "I'm named after a flower, too." "You are?" said Victoria. "Yes," said Mrs. Twinkle. "My name is Delphinium. Delphinium Twinkle. And if my baby is a girl, I'm thinking Chrysanthemum would be the perfect name. I think it's absolutely perfect. Chrysanthemum could scarcely believe her ears. She blushed, she beamed, she bloomed. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Oh, Mrs. Twinkle, she's helped spread out poor Chrysanthemum's heart, make it a little less wrinkled, make her feel a little bit better. Joe, Rita, and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. Well, call me Marigold, said Joe. I'm Carnation, said Rita, pointing. My name is Lily of the Valley, said Victoria. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She knew it was. The end. So boys and girls, in that story, whenever someone said something that was unkind and hurt Chrysanthemum's heart, it wrinkled her heart. And even though people would say nice things and try to smooth out their wrinkled hearts, there's still some wrinkles. Do you see the wrinkles in there? And that's because, this is something I like to share with my class, is that before you speak, so before you say words, you have to think and be smart, because it's hard to fix a wrinkled heart. So when you're thinking of your words to say, you have to make sure you're saying kind words. Otherwise, it wrinkles people's hearts, and we don't want to do that. Not in my classroom. All right. Now, something else about Chrysanthemum is that she had a beautiful name, and you guys all have amazing names, and I want you to practice writing your name. So you're going to take this sheet of paper. It says, I can write my name, and you're going to write your name here in red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. You get to write your name in all different colors. All right, go ahead and do this and then post a picture on Seesaw. All right, see you guys later. Bye.